Greetings, folks. This is Volt, continuing the journey of Arkham Horror like it's 2018. We're going back again to return to the Night of the Zealot, seeking more achievements. And our solo player contestant this time around is Jenny Barnes, the original even stat line rogue from the Dungeon Legacy. The goal here is to attempt to complete the Return to the Night of the Zealot campaign without defeating any ghouls. There's an achievement for that. That's what we're after. So we'll need to evade everything in Return to the Gathering except the odd swarm of rats. We'll need to let the Ghoul Priest live and keep away from it if it shows up again in Midnight Masks or in Devourer below. I'm also thinking of adding in Curse the Rougarou for a bit more experience and a bit more use of adaptable purchases to keep swapping Jenny's level 0 cards, particularly her off-class splash around. Speaking of off-class splash, I'm taking 2 Delves Too Deep, since Jenny won't be able to get any victory points from Victory Ghouls in Return to the Gathering. I'm taking 2 Dr. Milan Christophers to help with the investigating and the resource gain. Since this is pre-taboo, he does not exhaust and can hoover up plenty of resources. And with the 5th splash, I'm taking Arcane Studies to go alongside Hard Knocks. If I get them both in play, then Jenny can spend resources to pump all 4 of her stats. Ultimately, I do plan to purchase Streetwise, and then I'll swap the Arcane Studies and Hard Knocks for instead Physical Training, which can boost willpower and combat, so that again, Jenny can boost all of her stats by paying for it. But let's see if we even get there. Here we go. Return to the Gathering. Let's get Jenny's deck. Sure, this is, yes, this is saved. Let's get Jenny's deck populated. There we go. Let's remove the automatically inserted random basic weakness. If we can find it, there it is, Dread Curse. And then let's see what weakness we actually get. It is Hypochondria. Okay. We'll put Jenny at the study. Let's take a look at our... We've got, in classic Return to the Gathering fashion, a 3 Doom agenda. We need 3 clues in the guest hall to advance. Let's take a look at our opening hand. Well, we don't need 2 Dr. Milan Christophers, but I'll certainly take 1 plus Arcane Studies. I want Delve Too Deep later. I don't want it early on. And we can throw the Unexpected Courage back. Let's see if we get some more assets. Lone Wolf. Excellent. I'll take it. Okay. Sounds good. Right. Study. 3 Shroud, 1 Clue. Can spend 2 actions to draw 3 cards. Let's get some cards online. I think we will spend 4 to play Dr. Milan Christopher. And then we'll spend 1 to play Lone Wolf. And then we'll investigate with Dr. Milan. We're at book 4. We're testing 4 against 3. And I'll commit this perception, so we're 6 on 3. We're going to fail, because that's -4. And that's Arkham Horror, the card game, a living card game by Fantasy Flight Games. No enemies on the board. We upkeep into Eavesdrop. We get 2 resources, because that's how Jenny Barnes rolls. Make sure this is shuffled. 1 of 3 Doom. And Crypt Chill. We might be losing Dr. Milan Christopher right off the bat, but we at least have a guts to throw at this. So we're testing 5 against 4. -2 is a fail. Boy, I guess we're losing Lone Wolf. I think it's more important to keep Dr. Milan. So that's what we're doing. I'm strongly tempted to draw 3 cards. Because boy howdy has this been a start. We're going to do that. We're going to spend 2 actions to draw 3 cards. We are searching for Izzy. Location farthest from you. That's fine. Maybe Izzy's in the bathroom. A Guts and Unexpected Courage. And then last action, we're going to play Arcane Studies. Okay. No enemies on the board. We upkeep into Hard Knocks. At least we'll get our stat pumps online, hopefully. 2 of 3 Doom. Ancient Evils, 3 of 3 Doom. The agenda advances. We either discard a card at random or take 2 horror. We'll take a horror plus a horror on Dr. Milan. Okay. Great. Maybe not actually great. Okay. 4 on 3. We're going to investigate. We're going to spend 1 resource through Arcane Studies. So we're testing 5 on 3. -2 is a pass. We get the resource back from Dr. Milan and we get the clue. We'll spend 2 resources to play Hard Knocks and then we'll move to the guest hall. 1 shroud, no clues, can't take draw actions. All right. No enemies. We upkeep into a think on our feet. We're 1 of 7 Doom on the agenda. Our encounter card is a Chill from Below. Willpower 3. For each point you fail by, discard a card at random from your hand. We're going to throw guts at this. So we're testing 5 on 3. -1 is a pass. We draw a Delve Too Deep. Okay. So we're going to move into the bathroom, which is 1 shroud, 1 clue. After you reveal a symbol token while investigating, you lose all actions and end your turn. And we're going to spend 2 actions to search for Izzy in the bathroom, I think. If we pass, we get a resource from Dr. Milan, even though we don't get clues. We are testing 4 against 1. A skull is 0, because there's no ghouls here. So we pass, we get a resource, and searching for Izzy is discarded. I don't know why there's a clue stuck to Izzy's face. That belongs here. We don't have that yet. Okay, fine. We got rid of the weakness at least. No enemies on the board. We upkeep into a lucky cigarette case. Good. We're at 2 of 7 Doom. Our encounter card is Ancient Evils. We're at 3 of 7 Doom. My God, we're speed running. Not in the way we want. So let's play Lucky Cigarette Case. First action. Do we go for this knowing there's a reasonable chance that we lose our action? Let's see. What's our likelihood of losing our actions is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 out of 1. It's about 1 in 3. Yeah, I'm not thrilled with that. So we're going to draw a card. Jenny's Twin 45s, which we're not going to play. It's basically a 3-foot commit. But now we are going to investigate. We're testing 4 against 1. Tablet, -2. We do pass. We get the clue. We get a resource. We lose actions. We don't have any to lose. Ends our turn. We passed by 1. Okay. No enemies. We upkeep into an elusive. We're at 4 of 7 Doom. Grip Chill again. Willpower 4. So we're testing 3 against 4. We'll throw Unexpected Courage to be 5 on 4, and we'll spend a resource in Arcane Studies, 6 against 4. Cultist is -1, we pass. Okay. Okay. We're going to move twice, 1, 2, into the bedroom. 2 shroud, 1 clue. After you fail while investigating, discard a card at random. Four on 2. I'm going to spend 1 through Arcane Studies to make it 5 on 2. We'll investigate. Good thing I did. We passed exactly, and we get the clue. Okay. No enemies. We upkeep into a second Dr. Milan Christopher. We're at 5 of 7 Doom. A Flesh Eater spawns in the attic. Okay. All right, we're going to move back into the guest hall. I'm thinking about playing Delve Too Deep. Yes, we're going to play Delve Too Deep. What's our encounter card? The Acolyte of Amordoth engages us, and this goes into the victory display. Okay. But I should have advanced the act first. I didn't think this through, because then I could have thunk on my feet, get away from him. It's fine. We're going to evade him. So we're at 3 against 2. And we'll commit the 45s. So we're testing 5 against 2. We passed exactly. He is evaded. And before our turn ends, we will spend our clues to advance the act. Place the hole in the wall. We move there automatically. The attic and cellar waveforms collapse. The parlor comes into play. And we have to test willpower 4 and discard a card at random for each point by which we fail. We have no willpower commits. I will spend 2 resources through arcane studies. So we're testing 5 against 4. Pass exactly. I'm not clairvoyant. I just didn't want to fail on the cultist and take a horror into the bargain. It was the thinking there. Okay. Enemies don't do anything. We upkeep into a second think on our feet. The Acolyte of Amordoth readies. We're at 6 of 7 doom. Is not going great. Let's see what we get. Obscuring fog. Well, that's at least a whiff. The hallway has no clues. Okay. We're going to move up into the attic. It is the return attic. 3 shroud, 1 clue. Far above your house comes into play. The flesh eater engages. We're going to evade the flesh eater. We're testing 3 against 1. I'll spend a resource through hard knocks to make it 4 against 1. Skull is -1, so we pass by 2. We draw a card from Lucky Cigarette Case, which is a perception. This guy is evaded. And we will move to far above the house. 2 shroud, 1 clue. Victory 1. When you reveal this location field of graves, test willpower 4. For each point you fail by, discard a card at random. Again, no willpower commits. And again, I'm going to spend 2. So we're testing 5 against 4. 0's a pass. Okay. No enemies do anything. We upkeep into another Delve Too Deep. Flesh Eater readies. We are at 7 doom. So the agenda advances. We reshuffle the discard and discard until a ghoul appears. And I draw it. The icy ghoul is in the cellar. Okay. Well, this is going, as they say in the business, poorly. Let's see what our encounter card is. It's Ancient Evils. My God. 1 doom on the agenda already. Okay. We're going to investigate. We're testing 4 against 2. We're going to commit second Dr. Milan to be 5 on 2. We're going to auto-fail. Not good. We're going to investigate again. It's going to be a ghoul convention here in a minute, and there's not a heck of a lot I can do about it. But unfortunately, we do need this clue. All right. Anyway, 4 on 2. We're going to spend 1. So we're testing 5 against 2. That time we pass. We get a resource from Dr. Milan. We get the clue. We have 1 more action. I think we need to spend 2, play elusive to jump to the hallway, and then we need to move into the cellar. Yes, we're going to eat it from this icy ghoul, but I see no other path forward. 4 shroud, 2 clues, victory 1. After you enter, you take a damage. So I take a damage. Okay. Enemy phase, icy ghoul hits for another 2 damage and 1 horror. And the end of the enemy phase, every unengaged ghoul moves towards the parlor, so this guy moves in and this guy moves over. They're both in the hallway. And then we upkeep, and we upkeep into hypochondria, because why wouldn't we? Mythos. Since it's agenda 3, we add a doom for each ghoul in the hallway or parlor, so that's 2 in the hallway, and then 1 for the mythos. We're at 4 of 10. Chill from below, test willpower 3. For each point you fail by, discard a card at random. So let's think this through. I've been trundling along, but can we actually survive? This might be a situation where we purposely get defeated, preferably with physical rather than mental trauma. But after advancing the agenda, let's see. What is my turn? I can evade this guy. If I manage to evade this guy, then I could potentially eavesdrop and get both of these clues. Then, if I move back up here, though, I'm going to get pummeled for 2 damage and 3 horror. So I'd be... Ooh. 2 damage and 5 horror because of hypochondria. So 1 would need to defeat Dr. Milan. And then Jenny would have 4 damage and 6 horror on her. But we could then advance the act. That will spawn the Ghoul Priest. Ooh. And when the Ghoul Priest spawns, we could think on our feet and get into the parlor. And then next turn resign. We might be able to just barely accomplish this. We're not going to have a chance to delve. But I need to keep... The point is, I need cards. Do I have enough resources to accomplish this? Probably not. I can commit 1 think on your feet against this guy. 4, that would cost 2. Then I could play eavesdrop. I could use perception. I'd be testing 5. Oof, 5 against 4. Not great. Not great indeed. I think I spend 1 resource on. Yeah, 1 resource. We're testing 4 against 3. Cultist is -1, so we do pass. Good. We're going to evade this guy. We're going to commit 1 think on our feet. We're testing 4 on 1. We'll spend a resource. We're testing 5 on 1. 5 on 1. -1. We pass exactly. Okay. The dream is alive. We're going to spend a resource. We'll play Eavesdrop. We are testing 4 book against his 4 evade. We'll commit perception, so it's 6 on 4. Spend a resource, make it 7 on 4. Yes, 7 on 4. -2, we pass by 1, so we draw a card from perception. And we do, in fact, get both clues. And now we walk into the lion's mouth. We're going to walk back up into the hallway. Both of these bozos engage. Enemy phase. Acolyte of a Mordoth hits. Does it damage in a horror? That defeats Dr. Milan Christopher. I take a direct horror because of hypochondria. Flesh Eater hits for damage into horror. I take another horror. 1, 2, 3. We are at 4 damage, 6 horror. We're just barely not dead. The Icy Ghoul is unengaged, so he also moves in. So everybody's now here with me. He doesn't hit me at least. Upkeep. We upkeep into a Lone Wolf a little late. But at the end of the round, we are going to advance, which reveals the parlor, puts Lita Chandler there, spawns the Ghoul Priest here, and we play Think on Our Feet to immediately move to the parlor. Ghoul Priest stays here. These guys are all here with me, because why wouldn't they be? But we are actually in the location where we can resign. Now, okay. Can we accomplish it? Well, we're about to find out. Mythos. So there are 1, 2, 3, 4 ghouls in the hallway and parlor, so that's 4 doom. 1, 2, 3, 4. Plus 1. We're at 9 of 10. We're at the brink. What's our card? You were all waiting for the ancient evils, but no, it is another ghoul. We are absolutely surrounded by ghouls. There is no way to play Delve Too Deep without getting killed twice over, but what we can do is spend an action to resign and run the heck out the door. Okay, well, that was certainly a showing. We only got 1 delve off, but we did survive. So, no resolution was reached. So, your house is still standing. The Ghoul Priest is still alive. We do earn Lita Chandler, and we're absolutely going to take her. And we get 3 victory plus 2 bonus experience. Since we cleared 2 victory locations, plus delve, so we have 5 to spend. Okay. It could have gone better. It could have gone worse. We'll take that. Next up, after deciding upgrades with those 5 points, I think we are going to roll into Curse of the Rougarou, which means I'll need to only spend 4 of my 5 points. Keep 1 back. And I think what we're going to do is take Streetwise and Adaptable and figure out what we're going to adapt into. Pausing here until that's set up. All right, and we're back with the 4 experience points that we're able to spend, since the 5th one goes into playing Curse the Rougarou. I'm spending 3 on a copy of Streetwise, so now Jenny can always boost her book and foot with her copious amounts of resources. And for my 4th, I'm taking 1 copy of Adaptable. For this scenario, I'm swapping out Jenny's Splash. We're removing the arcane studies for physical training, since now between Streetwise and physical training, that will cover all 4 stats. The 2 hard knocks are still in the deck and are obviously of much less use. They're now only useful for boosting Fist, if we happen to get one of them. They'll be the first cards upgraded out of once we have enough points to do it. And I'm also swapping out 1 Delve Too Deep for 1 copy of Dynamite Blast, since testless damage to an enemy at a nearby location is perfect for dealing with 3/5 of the Rougarou's health. And of course, we also took Lita Chandler. We've added her to the deck. So let's add these 3 new cards to the deck. We'll remove these. Streetwise and Adaptable are in permanent slots. And let's set up for Curse the Rougarou. We've got our 4 sets of locations. We'll grab 1 to remove from the game. We'll grab 1 to start with. We start at a Bayou. We got the Unhallowed Land. So we start at the Bayou location, Foul Swamp. We've got the 2 Unhallowed Land locations. Kind of an unfriendly one to start at, but hey, maybe it'll be easier dealing with those first before things really kick into high gear. We've got our tokens. Skulls are -2, -4 if at a Bayou location. The Cultist is -2, plus another token if the Rougarou is at our location. The tablet is reveal another token, and you cannot move if you fail, and we have no Elder Things in the bag. Our agenda, first agenda, we have a Doom track of 5, and the act, we need to get 1 clue and spend it at a Bayou location. Let's shuffle our encounter deck, and let's take a look at our opening hand. Dr. Milan will keep. A Lucky Cigarette Case will keep. But only 1. Do I keep the Dynamite Blast, since it will be super useful once the Rougarou shows up? Honestly, I'm kind of thinking that I do. I don't recall there being that much force you to discard cards from your hand hate in this scenario. So having that available early, I think will be a good move, especially because there's only 1 in the deck. So we'll keep these. Well, we got a second Dr. Milan that is not of great help, but we got Lone Wolf, which is of great help. So, and I guess it just means that Dr. Milan can eat some, can provide some soak, since his twin brother is waiting in the wings. All right, Foul Swamp. This is where we start. 2 Shroud, no clues. You cannot heal or cancel horror. You can spend an action to take up to 3 horror and do a whopping Willpower 7 test to find an Ancient Binding Stone. That's part of the Scavenger Hunt steps to, that's one way of clearing the scenario. We're not going to be doing those. We're going to be clearing this scenario by just beating the Rougarou into a fine pulp. All right, first turn. Well, let's put Dr. Milan Christopher into play. And let's put Lone Wolf into play. And let's move left or right. Oh, I didn't shuffle these. Now they're shuffled. Let's try left. Which one is it? 4 Shroud, no clues. You can spend an action and 2 resources here to heal 2 horror once per game. The Overgrown Cairns. Okay. The clue I need is over here, and it'll be a victory point. Frankly, if I remember correctly, this location hurts you in some way when you end your turn there, so I'm fine not finding it on this first pass. All right, there are no enemies. We upkeep. Second Lone Wolf, well, is what it is. And 1 of 3 Doom. Let's make, no, 1 of 5 Doom, excuse me. This isn't the Gathering anymore. Our encounter card is Spectral Mist. Attached to a Bayou location. Can only have 1 there, so it has to attach to the Foul Swamp. Any tests performed here get +1 difficulty. Spend an action and test book 2 to discard it. That is probably just going to sit here the whole game. All right. We get our Lone Wolf resource. Let's move first to confirm what I remember this location does. 2 Shroud, 1 Clue, Victory 1, the Ritual Grounds. If you end your turn here, you draw a card and take a horror. So now I have a choice. I could play a Lucky Cigarette Case and then investigate testing 4 on 2, which is most of the bag. But then I'll be ending my turn here, and while drawing a card is good, taking a horror, less good, given what is awaiting us in this scenario, as we all know. So I think I'm just going to investigate. With Dr. Milan, we're 4 on 2. And yeah, being most of the bag, we'll just go for that. 4 on 2. -3, that's a fail. I maintain it was the right call. So now we are going to be ending our turn here. That is what it is. So, you know what? Let's go ahead and play the Lucky Cigarette Case. That's fine. We end our turn here. We take a horror, which goes in Dr. Milan, and we draw a card. Flashlight. Good. No enemies. We upkeep. Into a Guts. All right. That's good. 2 of 5 Doom. Our encounter card is Cursed Swamp. This willpower 3. For each point you fail by, take a damage. If you're at a bio location, you cannot commit cards to the test. Being at bio locations, which will be the center locations once the full map is set up, is generally bad. And this is a good example of why. So we're going to commit a Guts to this. So we're testing 5 against 3. Seems good. Elder Sign. So +3. So we pass by a whole ton. We draw a card from Guts. Watch this. And we draw a card from Lucky Cigarette Case, which is a Perception. Seems good. All right. We get our Lone Wolf resource. We're at 4 resources. I guess it feels silly to use Flashlight here, where, again, we do, in fact, cover most of the bag, just because I was spooked by drawing -3 last turn. So let's see. Let me see. Right. So if we get a clue... Well, I do want to play Flashlight. So let's do exactly that. We'll play Flashlight. We'll investigate. I guess I should use it. What am I going to be saving it for? Now, we're going to go ahead and use it. So we're testing 4 against 0. -2 is pass. We get a resource from Dr. Milan. We didn't need the Flashlight, but that's fine. We get the clue. And then last action, we move to the Foul Swamp. I'm not going to advance yet. We will advance at the start of the round. Okay. No enemies on the board. We upkeep into Hard Knocks. 3 of 5 Doom. Our encounter card is a Swamp Leech. So any biolocation so that spawns and engages with us. Fight 4, health 1. Cannot be evaded. When I enter a non-bio location, I discard it. So you can drag it out of the swamp with you, and then it's defeated, but it's doing damage to you as you go. Now, let's advance the act. A whole bunch of stuff happens. Put Lady Esprit into play. She has to come into play at a bio location, so she's here with us. Good. Put all the other set-aside locations into play, and put the Rougarou into play at any non-bio location. So I think those are all here. Well, the Rougarou is here. We're also going to need this Curse of the Rougarou. And we're going to need these encounter deck things. And let's get the other location sets. Here's 1. Here's 2. We've got New Orleans, and we've got Riverside. So, let's put the Cursed Shores that connect to Lorlands down here. We'll shuffle these. And then we've got Riverside, Brackish Waters, shuffle these. There we go. This is our full map. And then, right, put the Rougarou into play. How many resources do we have? Enough for a Dynamite Blast, which I may play, like, right now. Yeah. We'll put the Rougarou into play at the Overgrown Cairns next to us. We shuffle the discard pile and all the Curse of the Rougarou cards into the encounter deck. That's over here. So there we go. And then we get the Curse of the Rougarou weakness, which is going to be our constant companion the rest of the scenario. At the end of our turn, if we haven't dealt any damage, we take a horror. Okay. Sounds good. And now, whenever the Rougarou leaves a location, it leaves clues behind, 1 clue per location. If we defeat the Rougarou, resolution 2. And that's what we're going to be doing. We're not going to be pursuing the other objective. And that's it. Rougarou, fight 3, health 5 per player, so just 5, evade 3. Aloof, retaliate. To engage it, I need to spend a clue, does 2 damage to horror. After it takes at least 1 damage during a phase, it runs off. Find location farthest for all investigators. Move the Rougarou until it enters that location. It will drop clues in its wake. And then Lady Esprit. I can't take control of her, but I can spend an action, exhaust or deal her a horror to heal 2 damage or gain 2 resources. And I can do that while I'm here at Foul Swamp with her. Okay. And of course, we've got Swamp Leech. So, let's think this through. But first, let's get a resource from Lone Wolf. I would love to play Dynamite Blast and thump the Rougarou with it. Or 3 damage right out the gate. If I do that, I will take a damage from the Swamp Leech. From an attack of opportunity. To not do that, well, I could fight it, but I don't have fist boosting online yet. So I'll be testing 3 on 4, potentially with, watch this, 4 on 4. That doesn't seem like a good use of my resources, especially here where the skulls are -4 since we are at the bayou. I could move out, which kills the leech, take 1 damage, throw my dynamite, and then move back. That's a thing I could do. Or I could just take the hit and then move twice. If I do all that, though, I'm taking 3 damage from the Swamp Leech, and that seems less than good. I think with the ability to put 3 damage on the Rougarou right out the gate, I'm okay doing a bit of a slow roll here. So, with that in mind, we will move back to the ritual ground. This discards the Swamp Leech, but I do take a damage in the process. Then we'll spend 5 to play Dynamite Blast and thump the Rougarou for 3 damage. 3/5 of the way there. So now it moves, and farthest from all investigators. So let's try, let's see. Narlands, Riverside. We'll send it to Riverside. So 1, 2, 3. And it drops a clue in its wake at each of these locations. 1, 2, 3. That it leaves. Okay. Sounds good. And then we'll move back. We'll move back to... Do I want to move back? where tests are worse. Now, I think that's fine. We'll move back. If I pay for it, I pay for it. Curse the Rougarou does not hit us because we did plenty of damage this turn. No enemies do anything, and we upkeep. We have Think on our feet. Seems good. Mythos. We are at 4 of 5 Doom. And our encounter card is a Bog Gator. Fight 2, health 2, evade 2. Except it's +2 fight and +2 evade when at a Bayou location. This is a perfect time to play Think on your feet, so that I don't have to deal with this bozo. He just stays here. He hangs out with Lady Esprit. Do we chase the Rougarou? What I don't yet have is a way to do 2 damage in 1 shot. So, yeah, I think we do chase the Rougarou. We'll scoot down to the brackish waters. 1 shroud, no clues. Can't play assets here. We're not going to deal with the fishing net stuff. This guy does not hunt, so we're good. Okay. Okay, seems good. All right, we get our Lone Wolf resource. We're at 3. Let's move. Let's check. Do we check where the Rougarou is first? Let's check where it's not first. 4 shroud, no clues. Any assets here cost 1 less to play, and you can resign. Okay, so the clue and the victory point are with the Rougarou. Assets cost 1 less, you say. So maybe I do play Hard Knocks. I would prefer physical training, of course. But you know what? Let's play what we've got. We'll spend a resource to play Hard Knocks. Now we can boost Fist. And, yeah, we'll move in on the Rougarou. 3 shroud, 1 clue, victory 1. When you evade an enemy here, you have to discard a card at random. Rougarou's aloof, so he doesn't do anything. I didn't hurt an enemy, so I do take a horror from Curse the Rougarou. Enemies don't do anything. That Gator doesn't hunt, he just hangs out. We upkeep. Into an Eavesdrop. Okay. We're at 5 Doom. The agenda advances. The discard shelves in the encounter deck. The Rougarou moves to a Bayou location with the fewest clues on it. So it does move away from me, which I should have thought of, frankly. But that's fine. What we'll do... I mean, we can just have him move right here to... However you pronounce this, Fobomarini. Now, he does drop a clue here, which means it's 2 clues to get this victory point. But I have a flashlight. Seems fine. Okay. And the Rougarou's in play, so we don't add Doom. Agenda 2, Doom track of 6. Our encounter card is Dragged Under. It's agility 3. If you fail it, it goes to your threat area. Then you take 2 damage when you leave your location. You can get rid of it at the end of your turn by passing that agility 3 test. All right, so we're testing against 3, and I think that this is a case for spending 2 on Streetwise, so that we're testing 6 against 3. And skulls are now back to -2. Yeah, 6 on 3. I'm thinking about using Watch This to get my 2 resources back, essentially. Because what's our turn going to be? It's going to be investigating twice to try to get both of these clues. And then moving, I think, back to the Rougarou. Yeah. So I don't need the resources right away. is the point. So I can afford to watch this, like, next time around. All right, so, yeah, we spent 2. Streetwise, we're just testing 6 on 3. Elder Sign, we pass by 5, so we get a card from Lucky Cigarette Case, which is a Lucky Cigarette Case. They're breeding. Seems good. Okay, we get our Lone Wolf resource. We're at 3. We're going to investigate. I will use the flashlight, so we're testing 4 against 1. -1 is a pass. We get a resource from Dr. Milan. We get a clue. We're going to investigate again with the flashlight. Again, 4 on 1. Skull is -2, so we again pass and get a resource from Dr. Milan and get this clue and this victory point. And now we will move. We're going to move back to the Rougarou at Football Marigny. Okay. We take a horror from Curse the Rougarou. And no enemies do anything. We upkeep into a Guts. Okay. Mythos, we're at 1 of 6. Our encounter card is On the Prowl. So the Rougarou runs off and we search. That's fine. The biolocation with the fewest clues on it. Non-biolocation, excuse me. So if I send him right back to here, then I'm going to need to get that clue again. So I think instead we'll just scoot him across to one of the New Orleans locations. So boom, boom, boom. And he drops a clue here, here, and here. And then that surges into a slime-covered dole, any non-bayou location. Fight 2, health 3 of 8, 3. Hunter, damage and a horror. When it enters our location, I take a horror. I'd rather not deal with this. I would rather get across the map where the Rougarou is. What I love is to get something that lets me do multiple points of damage, so I only need to engage it. What are my somethings that will do that? I have 2 copies of Backstab. That would do it. I have Jenny's Guns. That would do it. And I have Lita Chandler, which would do it because the Rougarou is a monster. I would like to get one of those cards. So with all that in mind, I think what I do is spawn this guy here at Audubon Park, and maybe he never catches up with us. Okay. Seems all right. Okay. We got our Lone Wolf resource. We're at 8. Don't have any assets to play, so I think we're just going to move 3 times. Well, first let's move twice. Once to Brackish Waters, and then 1 more to Cursed Shores. 1 Shroud, no clues. You can spend an action here to take a damage and get a +2 to the next skill test you take this turn. When I leave, I will need to discard a skill card from my hand of my choice. Watch this, Perception or Guts. I want to keep Guts since I don't have a way to boost willpower at the moment. Watch this is more resources, but Perception is to help me get a clue. And I don't have another clue boosting me at the moment. Oh, it occurs to me I can eavesdrop on the Rougarou. Because he doesn't need to be exhausted, just needs to be unengaged. What's his evade value? 3. This is probably not better than an Investigate, and an Investigate gets resources from Dr. Milan, where Eavesdrop does not. But it's worth thinking about if I ever am with the Rougarou in a place with 2 clues. But anyway, what card am I discarding? That's the better question. Honestly, it might be... Watch this. That seems bad. To lose up on the 3 resources? We can boost book with Streetwise. We'll lose the Perception. Do we go to the Rougarou, or do we go next to the Rougarou? Let's go next to the Rougarou. Broadmoor, 3 Shroud, 1 Clue. You can resign, and Victory 1. Okay. There are 3 victory locations available, and we have cleared, well, we've cleared 2 of them. So I do want this clue. And then we can defeat the Rougarou. There is also a victory point enemy hiding in the deck. I'm not going to hold out hope for that. If it shows up, it shows up. If it doesn't, it doesn't. We take a horror from Curse of the Rougarou. That is mounting up. We're at 3 of 7 horror. We do still have a Dr. Milan in our back pocket. Maybe we plan to take advantage of that. All right. Enemies. The slime-covered Dole hunts down to brackish waters. And that's it. We upkeep into a Delve Too Deep. I forgot we had that. 2 of 6 Doom. Our encounter card is Insatiable Bloodlust. So this attaches to the Rougarou. He is, until he's damaged, he gets +1 fight, +1 damage, +1 horror, and can't be evaded. That will make it more challenging to actually wallop him. So we'll need to deal with that. All right. We get our Lone Wolf resource. We're at 11. So we can streetwise and investigate, test 7 on 3 to get this last victory point. We don't have enough actions to get that move, engage, and attack. Maybe we delve. Maybe we get the clue, delve, and then react to whatever the delve is. Because what I'd really like is to have... Do we delve right before we score the killing blow? We do need more cards. Let's investigate first. We'll spend 2 on Streetwise, so we're testing 7 against 3. -2 is a pass. We get a resource from Dr. Milan and a card from Lucky Cigarette Case. Another watch this. And we get the clip. I think we delve. Gonna play delve. What's our encounter card? It is a Swamp Leech. Spawn at any bayou location. We're gonna spawn this over by Lady Esprit, since I don't think we're ever going to walk back there. And we add delve to the victory display. Okay. And then I think we move in on the Rougarou. Last location, 1 Shroud, 0 Clues. Agility 7 test for this scavenger hunt item. That's not going to happen. Okay. We do take a horror. We'll put it on Jenny, 4 out of 7, keeping an eye on that from Curse the Rougarou. The slime-covered Dole moves to the Cursed Shores. We will need to deal with that. Unfortunately, that is what it is. And we upkeep into an elusive. Okay. It's not damage, but still good. 3 out of 6 Doom on the second agenda. Ooh, this is the victory point enemy. Dark Young Host. 4 fight, 5 health, 2 evade. Any bayou location. When clues are placed on its location, the enemy gets them instead, and when defeated, it drops all its clues in its location. Interesting. So with elusive, I can skip by it. I don't think I want to put it in the location with Lady Esprit with everything else here. I'm wondering if... Is it a monster? Yes, it is. If I got Lita Chandler and or the guns, Maybe. Or we just work to finish this scenario. Because what we can do, we can engage the Rougarou. We can punch it for 1 damage with boosting our fist enough, which will make it run away. And I can have it run away to location furthest from all investigators. So I can have it run back to Football Marigny, which is fine. And then I could elusive over to Audubon Park and then catch back up with it and maybe defeat it. And that way I don't have to deal with the Slime Cup Ghoul. So, since I'm not planning to actually fight the Dark Young Host, I think we're just going to end the scenario and take our victory points and go. I'm going to put the Dark Young Host here at the Cursed Shores. It does not hunt, and that's fine. All right. We're going to investigate. We're going to spend a clue and an action to engage the Rougarou. Well, that's okay. Wow, okay. The Rougarou is having... Come back here. Stop. All right. Wow. That's some physics. All right, well, that's what I get for, like, I don't know. This is what you call some behavior? Look, what are you talking about? This is acting as intended. Here's the point. He still has 3 damage. The insatiable bloodlust means he's got 4 fight. So I've got to beat his 4 fight. We are going to punch. We're going to remember to take our lone wolf resource that we almost forgot about. So we're testing 3 on 4. Let's see. What do we got? We're going to commit watch this to be 4 on 4. We'll spend 3 resources and put them on watch this. And I'm strongly tempted to spend 6 resources through Hard Knocks. So that I'm testing 10 on 4, which would cover Cultist into -4. Yeah, we're going to do exactly that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 10 against 4. -2. We pass by 4. So we get we get 6 resources from watch this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We draw a card from Lucky Cigarette Case, which is the Twin 45s. Interesting. We do a damage to the Rougarou, so he now has 4 health. And he runs off. As planned, we will send him to Football Marigny. He drops a clue here, here, and here. And Insatiable Bloodlust discard. I don't really know. I'd love to get that. There we go. Don't know what happened with all these extra little damage tokens. All right, it's fine. Everything's fine. So now I have the gun, and now the question is, do I actually want to try to kill the Dark Young Host? I don't I don't think that is the wisest use of my time. I am concerned about the horror mounting up. Probably just a couple bad pulls away from dying there. We have delved too deep in the victory display. I think we just proceed with the plan. And the plan is to spend 2 on elusive, to blip across the map back over to Audubon Park. And with 1 more action, I think I play the guns, right? How many resources are we going to pump into those? Hopefully I only need the 1 bullet. What could spawn on me to try to ruin? Or do I just move in on it? No, you know what? We're going to just move in on him. All right. All right, Beast. We're catching up with you. Okay. Enemies. The slime-covered Dole does an about-face, and now it is at brackish waters. We did damage, so we don't take any horror from Curse the Rougarou, and we upkeep into a narrow escape. Okay. Mythos. We're at 4 of 6 doom. Cursed Swamp. This willpower 3, take a damage for each point you fail by. Seems fine. We'll commit Guts, 5 on 3. We're going to auto-fail. Why not? It's fine. I'd rather auto-fail this, because taking 3 damage, boom, 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 Jenny can take that. Okay, and now, I mean, you know what we're going to do? We're going to get a resource from Lone Wolf. We're going to spend an action and clue to engage the Rougarou. We're going to play Jenny's guns. He makes an attack of opportunity. We play Narrow Escape to cancel it and get +2 to our next skill test. And we'll play Jenny's guns with, I mean, I don't know. The cost of each asset is reduced by 1. So I'll spend 3 to get Jenny's guns into play with 4 bullets. Discarding the flashlight. And now we're going to try to end this by shooting this guy. From Narrow Escape and the guns, we're testing 7 against 3. And sure, we'll tell the Rougarou to watch this. 8 on 3. We'll put 4 resources on that. No, we're not going to bother. If we pass this, we win. No. What am I doing? Getting ahead of myself. 7 on 3. Let's just spend 2 resources through Hard Knocks to cover Cultist into -4. 9 on 3. Skull is -2. We do 2 damage. The Rougarou is defeated. Resolution 2. Okay. Resolution 2, the creature gives a pitiful wail as dark, miry blood oozes from its wounds. By the time its body collapses into the mud, it is transformed back into its original form of a young, dark-skinned man, his expression twisted in agony. You bring his body back to Lady Esprit, dodging the 1, 2, 3, 4 monsters in the bayou. She works her strange magic, removing the stain of the curse from across the land. Call on me for favors should you ever need my help, the mysterious woman tells you. So the Rougarou is destroyed and the curse is lifted. I no longer have the curse weakness, and I can add Lady Esprit to my deck. I get victory 4 from the 3 locations plus delve too deep. And that's it. All right, good. That is what I was hoping for. Could I have gotten one more? Could I have potentially defeated the Dark Young Host since the guns came into play? Sure, but I mean, we were already quite beat up. There was plenty of time in the Doom track. There is a third agenda to this scenario of 8, although it sort of is really only a Doom track of 4, since if the Rougarou is not engaged with you, the Doom advances at double pace. So we made good time. I think it was the right call in trying to kill this thing. I'm pleased with that result. Right. And we will add Lita. We will add Lady Esprit to our deck. I'll think about upgrades, what to spend that 4 points on. I am kind of tempted to add Charisma with 3 of those points. And frankly, the last point might be a second Adaptable. Possible. Might be lockpicks going into Midnight Masks. We'll see. We'll see. I think definitely Charisma. I just need to decide what to do with that last point. All right. Pausing here to set that up, and we'll pick back up with the Midnight Masks. All right, and we're back into Return to the Midnight Masks. We had 4 experience coming into this scenario. I've spent them on a copy of Charisma so that we can have 2 allies. And since we have 4 allies in the deck now, 2 copies of Milan Christopher, Lita Chandler, and Lady Esprit. And particularly as Return to the Midnight Masks has 2 locations that can potentially care about allies. One that plays them for cheaper, the other lets you fetch one from your deck. I do think coming in with 2 ally slots is a particularly helpful upgrade. Spent my last on a lockpicks. It's very good in true solo for clue gathering. I'll investigate at 6, at 7 if I have Dr. Milan in play, and it synergizes with the Lucky Cigarette Case. With my Adaptable upgrades, or side grades, I'm bringing in a second Dynamite Blast, since the high cost for group damage is very much appreciated here, so I like to have a second one. And I bring in a Double or Nothing, which could potentially, if paired with a Backstab, provide a 1-round solution to the Masked Hunter, or to Narogath if I also have Lita Chandler in play. And I have Lady Esprit from Curse of the Rougarou. We're removing the Delve Too Deep. It's done its job. There's no time to delve in Midnight Masks. And my 2 copies of Hard Knocks as half obsolete now that I have Streetwise. My 5th splash card, besides the 2 copies of Dr. Milan and the 2 Dynamite Blasts, is still 1 copy of Physical Training. If I get that online with Streetwise, I can pump all 4 of Jenny's stats. So let's delete these. Let's put these into the deck. Come on. There we go. Let us set up Midnight Masks. Our house is still standing, so that's where we start. The Ghoul Priest is still alive, so it shuffles into the encounter deck. We've got our 5 cultists. Let's look at our opening hand. Well, there's the Physical Training I talked about, and a flashlight. Elusive, watch this, backstab. Backstab I want later, but not so much at the beginning of the scenario. So we'll toss that, watch this, and elusive back. I will take the flashlight to start, so I have a tool for helping get clues. What else do we get? Well, there's Dynamite Blast. Lucky Cigarette Case is good. And an elusive. All right. What I don't have yet is an ally, which means I will be heading first to Southside, where I have a 50-50 chance of being able to fetch an ally from my deck. But first, let's get some cards online. And we started our house. 2 Shroud, 1 Clue. Ghoul Priest spawns here if drawn. You can spend an action to draw a card and gain a resource. So we'll spend 2 to put down Flashlight. We'll spend 2 to put down Lucky Cigarette Case. We'll investigate using the Flashlight. I'm testing 3 against 0. We're 3 up. -1, we pass by 2. We get a card from Lucky Cigarette Case, which is searching for Izzy. We get this clue. Sure, let's get our weakness right away. Farthest location. So 1, 2. So she's either at downtown, north side, or the hospital. Let's put her at the hospital, which I know will be Shroud 2. The other locations are potentially higher Shroud. We couldn't find Izzy in the bathroom. Maybe she's at the hospital. All right. No enemies on the board. We upkeep into double or nothing. We're at 1 of 6 Doom on the first agenda, first of 2. And Obscuring Fog. Well, that's a appreciated with. Our house is filled with fog, but we don't care. We already have the clue. All right. So, let's move. I'm going to move to Rivertown. The return version, 4 Shroud, 1 clue. You can discard a card with willpower icons to remove Doom from a cultist. 4 Shrouds a lot. I could investigate with Streetwise. Use the flashlight. Spend 2 resources on Streetwise, so I'd be testing 6 against 2. But then I can't play physical training. I think maybe I should have drawn a card and gotten a resource from my house first before I left. It is what it is. If I move to south side, see, part of what I'm thinking is I'd like to get a second clue so that in case I draw masked horrors, it's only doing horror instead of adding a doom to the agenda. To do that, I either need this clue or I need to get a clue at, say, south side. I could just move to south side and investigate to get a clue and then pull out a ally next turn if I can. Maybe we do that. Let's move to south side. 3 Shroud, 1 clue. Spend an action to draw 3 cards, limit once a game. So it's not the free ally version, but 3 cards is something I should try to accomplish. And let's investigate with the flashlight. We're testing 3 against 1. Yeah, we'll take that straight up. We're 2 up. Elder Sign. +1 for each resource we have. So we pass by 5. We get a card from Lucky Cigarette Case. And we get this clue. Okay. And it's an unexpected courage. All right, no enemies. We upkeep into a Think on Our Feet. We're at 2 of 6 Doom. We have a Hunting Night Gaunt. Fight 3, health 4, evade 1. Now, I could think on my feet to sneak away. I don't really have the means to kill it at the moment. But if I think on my feet, then I'm not drawing the 3 cards. Let's see. I could... evade, draw 3 cards, move. But if I move to the hospital, if I try to get rid of searching for Izzy, then it will move in on me wherever I go, re-engage me, hit me for a damage and a horror. And I'd rather stay away from it. So we'll come back to the hospital, I think. We will spend a resource. We'll play Think on Our Feet. We will scoot away, but we're going to scoot to the university. 3 Shroud, 1 clue. You can spend an action to take 2 horror to also gain a clue. Okay. That's fine. I'm thinking about doing that, but I don't have any soak yet. It's in here. I have allies in the deck, but I don't have it yet. I want to stay ahead of the Haunting Nikon. We're going to investigate. We're going to use... Let's see. Is Shroud 3? Flashlight, I'll be 2 up. If I Streetwise instead, I'll be 3 up. Yeah, we'll investigate using the... Might that be better at North Side? No, you know what? I'm going to save the flashlight supply. I am going to investigate, but I will spend... Nah, you know what? I'm going to commit this unexpected courage. We're testing 5 against 3. Heroes a pass by 2, so we get a card from Lucky Cigarette Case, which is another Think on Your Feet, and I get the clue. Okay, that was lucky. We're going to move the north side. So you can spend 5 resources here to gain 2 clues, once per game. Victory 1, 3 Shroud, 2 clues. Okay. So here, we're going to investigate. We're going to use the flashlight. We're testing 3 on 1. We'll commit double or nothing, so we're testing 4 on 2. If we succeed, we get both clues. We're 2 up. We're going to go for it. -1. We pass by 1, we get both clues. Okay. All right. Enemies. The Night Gaunt moves to Miskatonic University. And we upkeep into a second Lucky Cigarette Case. All right. Where are my allies? 3 of 6 Doom. On Wings of Darkness. Test Agility 4. If you fail, take a damage and a horror, and you get sent back to the center. It's not the worst thing. I'll just be moving in a different direction to stay ahead of, away of the Night Gaunt. Probably heading to East Town. Yeah. We'll just test this. 3 on 4. We are 1 down. A skull is a 0, so we do fail by 1. We take a damage and a horror. And we ride the Night Gaunt taxi back to Rivertown. And we're going to spend 2 clues to draw a cultist. Who is it? Herman Collins in the graveyard. Fight 3, health 4, evade 4. You can parlay him by discarding 4 cards from hand. Okay. I think maybe we deal with him later. Let's see. This Rivertown clue is still a difficult one. I would love an ally, and I'm not seeing one yet. We are going to move to East Town. 2 Shroud, 1 clue. Allies cost 2 less here. And I'm going to try to get this clue. And I'll spend 2 on Streetwise. So I'm testing 6 against 2. We are 4 up. We pass by 2, -2. So we get a card from Lucky Cigarette Case, which is a perception. We get this clue. Enemies. Herman Collins stays put. The Night Gaunt moves to Rivertown to chase me. And we upkeep into an Eavesdrop. Okay. Mythos. We're at 4 of 6 Doom. Hunting Shadow. Spend a clue or take 2 damage. We will take 2 damage. Okay. We're going to spend an action and 2 clues to spawn another cultist. Alma Hill at Southside. Fight 3, health 3, evade 3. To parlay her, you have to draw 3 encounter cards. Okay. Okay, interesting. All right. Then, what am I doing? We're going to move to downtown. 3 shroud, 1 clue. You can spend an action to gain 3 resources. Limit once per game. Might do that. Might do that. But first we're going to investigate, and we're going to investigate again. Let's see, Shroud 3, so we're testing 3 on 3. I will commit perception. Be 5 on 3. I'm thinking about whether I want to keep Eavesdrop. It can get 2 clues, but the only location that will have 2 clues is the graveyard, which is Shroud 1. And much easier to just investigate those clues normally. Sure, it takes 2 actions. Well, the Night Gaunt is an excellent Eavesdrop target, I guess. No, I don't think it's worth it. So we'll test 6 against 3. We are 3 up. -2, we pass by 1. We get a card from Perception, which is a backstab. Okay? And we get the clue. All right. Enemies. The Night Gaunt moves up to East Town, following us. And we upkeep into a Lone Wolf. Okay? Mythos. We're at 5 of 6 Doom. A Disciple of the Devourer. Perfect time, frankly, to draw him. Since it's Agenda 1, he either steals a clue or gets a Doom. If it was Agenda 2, he'd get both. But since it's the Witching Hour and he doesn't advance the agenda, we can give him a Doom and it won't matter. He does spawn in the farthest empty location. These are 1. These are 2. So he spawns at our house. He could spawn at the hospital. That's also 3 away. Now, we'll spawn him at the house, and hopefully we won't ever have to go back there or deal with him. Okay. Let's think this through. After this turn, I'm going to get the big guy on me. I have a backstab that can do 3 damage. I have a dynamite blast that can do 3 damage. That would defeat the Masked Hunter. It would be 1 shy of defeating Narogath. If I managed to get Lita Chantler suddenly, that would finish the job, as would 1 well-placed punch, I guess, with physical training. Since I have a Think on Your Feet, when the big guy spawns, I can scoot away. I'm thinking about getting the 3 resources from the bank while I'm here. I could play Lone Wolf. I could play physical training. The Night Gaunt would move in and hit me. One moment. All right, sorry about that. So yeah, I think we prepare. If the Night Gaunt moves in, that'll do a damage and a horror. Again, I'm taking some lumps, but theoretically, if I let the Night Gaunt move in on me, then the big guy spawns on me. I could start my turn, I could backstab the big guy, then elusive away, then throw dynamite and nail both of them. Won't kill the Night Gaunt, but we'll put it in almost defeated status. I think that's the way to go. So it's a question of what do I want to prepare with? I do want Lone Wolf, since it will just feed me that many more resources. I do want to gain 3 resources from the bank. We'll mark this as done. Whoops. And then, am I playing physical training? I have 10 resources. I'll have 13 to start my next turn after upkeep and Lone Wolf. That's enough to play Backstab, Elusive, and Dynamite Blast. And have 3 left over to pump into the Backstab attack so that I would be swinging 6 against whatever. Alternately, I could wait on the physical training. But the physical training, no, see, I don't really have... I would just have the... maybe it's better to draw a card. So I have more options. And so I have the extra resources. Because if it's the Masked Hunter, then he has fight 4. And I would be backstabbing 6 against 4. Which, with a streetwise pump. Which, while good, is not great. Alternately, I could... if I let them clump up, I could elusive across the map and not deal with them right away. But where would I go? It would have to be Rivertown or the university. And I could go to the university and then move down to St. Mary's Hospital. No, I think my original plan is the best one. And I think I do want... it's here for a reason. I do want to play physical training. We'll see if it was the right call or not. All right. So we've prepared best we can. The Night Gaunt moves in, engages us, and hits us for damage and a horror. Other enemies don't do anything. We upkeep into a flashlight. That's not immediately helpful. The Doom, the agenda advances. It is Narogath. Okay. And then we have an agenda of 8, and our Mythos card is a Disciple of the Devourer, who takes a clue and gets a Doom. That's not great. Spawns at the farthest empty location. That is the hospital. Yeah. Okay. We get a resource from Lone Wolf. We're at 11. How did I miscount the resources? I thought I was going to have 13. Um, hmm. Well, it is what it is. So I could elusive to the university, for example, then head down to St. Mary's, kill this guy, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, and then these two bozos will be slowly working their way around to me. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. I'm thinking about if there's a way that I could lure them into the location with Alma Hill and blow them all up with dynamite. But that feels like it's probably more trouble than it's worth. Yeah. The question is, do I backstab Narragath before I leave? What I'd love to get is Lita Chandler first. Let's think this through. Elusive, if I elusive here, move here, punch this guy, then there'll be 2 clues, and I could start working on getting them. I could play another flashlight to get those clues. Yeah, let's try that. We're going to spend 2 to play elusive. We're going to blip away from these 2 guys. Narrowgath, fight 3, health 7 of 8, 3. When ready, I can't parlay with cultists at its location or any connecting location. So I'm going to scoot away to the Miskatonic University. We will move in to the hospital. 2 shroud, 2 clues. I can heal 3 damage here. Disciple of the Devourer engages me. We're going to punch this guy. We're testing 3 on 3. I will spend 3 resources through physical training. So we're testing 6 on 3. We're 3 up. We pass exactly. He's defeated. And then we'll play this new flashlight. Okay. Enemies. Narrowgath and the Night Gaunt hunt. They move to north side. Upkeep. Second elusive. Could be good. Mythos, 1 of 8 doom. False lead. Test book 4. For each point you fail by, drop a clue in your location. We're 3 on 4. I will spend 2 resources on Streetwise to make it 6 on 4. We're 2 up. We pass by 3 with a +1, so we draw a card from Cigarette Case, and it's Jenny's Twin 45s. Okay. Now that's interesting. We're going to investigate. Do we clear searching for Izzy? I really wish there was a way I could get them into here, but the only way, no, that's just not feasible. The twin 45s. Two damage per shot. So, Dynamite would bring Narelgath down to 4 health. Then 2 shots would do it. I could use Backstab for Alma Hill. We still have more cultists to place. No, first we're going to get these clues while we're here. We're going to investigate using the flashlight. We're testing 3 on 0. -2, we pass by 1 and get a clue. We're going to investigate again with the flashlight. 3 on 0. +1, we pass by 4, we get another clue. I have 4 clues. I could spawn another cultist. I could heal 3 damage. That might not be a bad play. These guys do a total of 2 damage and 3 horror if they move in. How many resources do I have? I didn't take my Lone Wolf resource. I have 5. I haven't used the draw 3 cards in Southside yet either. That's also an up. So I could, next turn, I could move in on Alma. I could stab her in the back, draw the 3 cards, and then elusive back up to, like, East Town or downtown, so that the hunters have to turn around and come after me another way again. Maybe what we do, and realizing it might drop a cultist on my head, we spend 2 clues to spawn another cultist. Who do we get? Billy Cooper. Now that's interesting. Fight 5 health, 4 evade 2. But if a monster enemy is defeated at his location, he gets added to the victory display. Can I arrange that somehow? Honestly, I'm not sure. These guys are going to move down to the Miskatonic University. This is unfortunately sort of in a dead end. Move, backstab, elusive, move. But that uses up my elusive. Backstab, move. One moment. All right, we're back. Sorry about the interruption. All right, let's see if this plan survives contact with the enemy. Step 1 of this plan. Well, I had flipped this and then I hadn't actually decided what I was going to do. What I got was these 2 clues. With my 3rd action, I am going to use the hospital to heal 3 damage. Enemies. Narelgath and the Night Gaunt scoot down to Miskatonic University. Right. Upkeep. Hypochondria. That's a problem. All right, 2 of 8 Doom. Our encounter card is Obscuring Fog. That's less of a problem. It's a problem for searching for Izzy, but we might not find Izzy, to be dead honest. Okay. All right. Let's get our Lone Wolf resource. We're at 8 resource. Okay. We're going to move to South Side. First action. Alma Hill engages us. Second action. We're going to spend 3 to stab her in the back. So we're testing 3 against 3. We'll do 3 damage. We're going to spend 2 on Streetwise to make it 6 on 3. So we're 3 up. We're going to fail. And that's quite unfortunate for obvious reasons. Hmm. Do we elusive? I was planning to elusive to downtown, hoping to defeat her first. But now that's not happening. Who? I was counting on those 3 cards. Unfortunate. All right, we will spend 2 to elusive. We'll leave her behind. And we will blip to downtown. No, heck it. Before we do that, I am going to take the attack of opportunity. This is a bad idea. I'm going to take the attack of opportunity from her to horror to draw 3 cards. Okay. Then we play elusive and warp to downtown. Okay. These guys move back up to north side in the enemy phase, and then we upkeep into a second backstab because the first one worked so well. Okay, we're at 3 of 8 Doom. Now this is interesting. Here's why. I had been playing this run with the goal of beating the campaign without defeating a single ghoul. There is separately an achievement for beating the campaign. No, not for beating the campaign. There's an achievement for getting Billy Cooper specifically in the victory display by defeating the Ghoul Priest at his location. To accomplish that, of course, requires bringing the Ghoul Priest into Midnight Masks, getting it to spawn, getting Billy Cooper to spawn, bringing the two together, and then causing a ruckus. It's the Do You Get It Now achievement. Trigger the forced ability on Billy Cooper by defeating the Ghoul Priest at his location. Do I pivot from trying to win via ghoul with no ghoul killing to go for this achievement instead? I think maybe I do. The only problem is, I don't know how the heck we're going to do it. I do have dynamite. I'm also kind of surrounded. My original plan was to move in on Billy Cooper, evade him, and scoot through. Or rather, evade him and stay here. Huh. So, if I move in, evade him, and play... Let's get my Lone Wolf resource. And play our gun. Right. Then I don't have enough to play Dynamite Blast. Ghoul Priest will move to Rivertown. These two bozos will move to downtown. And then Billy Cooper will once again be engaged with me and will be here in East Town. If I move down, dragging Billy Cooper, I take an attack of opportunity for 2 damage. Then we're with the Ghoul Priest. But, well, I have a backstab, which could do 3. And if I played the guns and got a shot off, that could conceivably accomplish this. We're going to go for it. Let's see. I have 4 resources. Next round, I'll have 7 resources. I could potentially get 3 if I manage to nail... Watch this. More likely, I would only get 2 if I streetwise to accomplish the watch this. But then I'd have 9 resources. Dynamite Blast while Billy Cooper's engaged would do 2 damage to me plus a direct horror. A move would do another 2 damage to me plus another direct horror. I'd be almost defeated. If I just moved, backstab, and shot, that would work, but I'd need to take 2 tests. All right. Let's move in on Billy Cooper. First action. Second action. We're going to evade. We're testing 3 against 2. I'll spend 2 with Streetwise so that we're 6 on 2. We're 4 up. We'll commit watch this and we'll bet 2. We are 7. We're 5 up and we have 2 riding on watch this. Okay, Skull is a 0. Yeah, there's no doom on anybody in play. So we pass by a ton. We get 4 resources back from watch this. We get a card from Lucky Cigarette Case. It is a second Lone Wolf. And Billy Cooper is an evaded. Four resources. I'll have 7 at the start of the turn. If I move, backstab, and shoot. Backstab, I'd be testing... Oof. 3 against 4. Shooting, I'd be testing 5 against 4. These are not the commits I need. This would let me do 4 on 4, 5 on 4 with the backstab. It's not great. I drag him 2 damage, and I take a... Man, I wish I had a second action to get rid of hypochondria. That's really causing the problem. But I could just barely take 2 attacks of opportunity from him. So I could Dynamite Blast the Ghoul Priest, move in, and shoot. If I shoot him with the guns, I'd be testing 5 on 4. All right, let's math this out. I have 4 resources. If I don't spend anything, I'll have 7 resources next round. I could play back Dynamite Blast, move. I'd have 2 resources left. If I spent 2 resources now on the 45s, I'd have 2 bullets. I'd be trusting 5 against 4 with no other commits. Alternately, I could move in, play backstab. I'll have 4 resources left after playing backstab. I'd be testing 3, 4, 5 against 4, and then a shot with the gun 5 against 4. I feel like either way, I'm trusting myself to a 1-up test. No matter what. And unfortunately, I think that's the life we live. So, this terrible idea, I'm going to spend 2 resources to play Jenny's guns. We're going to discard both flashlights. We're going to get the guns with 2 bullets on it. 1 for each gun. And then enemies move. Ghoul Priest moves to Rivertown. These 2 bozos move to Downtown. Billy Cooper re-engages. We upkeep into Lady Esprit. Finally an ally. A little bit late. We mythos 4 of 8 doom. A disciple of the Devourer takes one of my clues, gets a doom. These are 1. These are all 2. He ends up back at the hospital. Whoa. Okay. All right. We are pivoting from trying to win the campaign. We're just trying to accomplish this 1 achievement. So we get our Lone Wolf resource. We have exactly 5. Lady Esprit is a fist commit. Backstab, I'd be testing 3 against 5, 4 against 5, 5 against... No, it's against 4, excuse me. 5 against 4. I think we do this... the stupid way. I am going to play Dynamite Blast. Billy Cooper hits me for 2 and damage, and I take a horror from Hypochondria. We play Dynamite Blast. We do 3 damage to the Ghoul Priest. Then we move to the Ghoul Priest. Billy Cooper hits us again for 2 damage, and I take a horror from Hypochondria. We're almost dead. And I'm going to try to shoot with the guns. We're testing 5 against 4. I will commit Lady Esprit to make it 6 against 4. Or do I commit the backstab? Do I commit them both? That seems real dumb. But man, would I feel very bad if I pull the -3 on this. And that's the end of things. We are here for the achievement. We're going to commit backstab as well. 3, 5, 6, 7 against 4. Elder Sign. We didn't need to lose all those. We get a card from Lucky Cigarette Case. Dr. Milan Christopher shows up. But more importantly, the Ghoul Priest is defeated and Billy Cooper goes in the victory display. Do you get it now? We have accomplished that achievement. Someone else will beat the game defeating all the ghouls. As it is, therefore, it doesn't too much matter whether Jenny actually wins or not. We're just going to charge through to the end and see how things go. I'm happy to get that achievement because you got to seize it when the opportunity is right. Okay, enemies. These 2 guys, leading them on their merry chase. They're now in Easttown. We upkeep into a narrow escape. And we're at 5 + 1 is 6 of 8 doom. A hunting shadow, spend a clue or take 2 damage. I mean, I should probably spend the clue, right? So I got nothing left to defeat these guys. I have 1 bullet in my gun. Maybe I just parlay Herman Collins and then see if I can't get this victory point and then resign. Leaves things very bleak for Devourer below, but you know what? That seems fine. So I will spend this clip. Fine. Okay. We're going to get our Lone Wolf resource. We're going to move into the graveyard. Herman Collins engages. We got to do the willpower test. Oh, this might kill us. That's willpower 3. If you fail, take 2 horror, move to Rivertown. I mean, if I fail and move back to Rivertown, I'll have Herman Collins attached to me. I could parlay with him out there and then move away from these guys and get another chance to parlay Alma Hill next round. But the likelihood of Amassed Horrors just, you know, ending things. Well, there's a high likelihood of Amassed Horrors just ending things anyway. Let's take this test. We'll throw Guts at it. We're testing... We'll throw Lucky Cigarette Case at it as well. So we're testing 6 against 3. We're 3 up. +1, we pass by 4. We get a card from Guts. Lita Chandler, a little too late. We get a card from Lucky Cigarette Case. Lockpicks. Man, where were all the good cards? Man, it would have been a much better, different game if I got those earlier. But we got the achievement that we care about. So it's fine. Everything's fine. Let's parlay Herman Collins. Let's discard Lone Wolf and lockpicks. And think on your feet and narrow escape. And he goes into the victory display. And then, I mean, it'd be great if I could at least get this victory point before I have to resign. So that's what we'll try to do. We'll investigate. I'll commit perception. We're testing 5-on-1. We're 4 up. We pass by a ton. We get a card from perception, which is a second Dr. Milan Christopher. And we get the clue. All right. Enemies. These guys moved. Well, they moved together down to Rivertown. And we upkeep into Dynamite Blast. That's funny, but not workable. 6 + 1 is 7 of 8 Doom. It's Masked Horrors, and we Doom out. All right, that's fine. It is past midnight. Resolution 2. Things are bleak for Devourer below, but we got the achievement I care about. This is the Gathering. What am I doing? Right, Resolution 2. 12 bells ring out, signaling midnight. We're out of time. All right, it is past midnight, but the Ghoul Priest is not still alive. No long. Oh, what am I doing? Is no longer alive. We interrogated Billy and Herman. Cultists who got away are Narogath, Alma, 2 more. Who were the other 2? Jeremiah and Wolfman Drew. Fine. And right. So, victory points. We actually got 5 from locations and the Ghoul Priest. I guess 1 location, right? Just north side? Because we didn't get this last clue in the graveyard. Okay. Oh, and we take a mental trauma from not resolving searching for Izzy. Okay. So we have 5 points. It'll be a miracle if Devourer below works, but you know what? We're going to give it a shot. How bad can it be? We're about to find out. Pausing here to set that up. Be right back. All right, we're back, and we're ready for a truly stupid idea for the Devourer below. Here's the thing. There's an achievement called They're Just Misunderstood. Win the Night of the Zealot campaign without defeating a single unique cultist enemy. We have not defeated any unique cultist enemies. We parlayed 2 of them. We parlayed Billy Cooper, and we parlayed Herman Collins, which adds them to the victory display, but does not defeat them. So, since we have now defeated ghouls, let's see if we can't accomplish this. Now, here's the thing. To accomplish that achievement means you have to let the hunter big enemy cultist in Midnight Masks live, which we cleverly did with our incredible showing in Midnight Masks. I don't know how in true solo you could win the Devourer below by stopping the ritual with Narogath, or the Masked Hunter, breathing down your neck after you've flipped the first act. So we're going to try to not advance the act. We're going to do the classic turtle strategy and try to wait things out and defeat Umordhoth after it spawns. Now, return to Night of the Zealot makes that much harder because of this card, Vault of Earthly Demise. This attaches to Umordhoth when it enters play and powers Umordhoth up so it gets an extra health per player and an extra fight. where X is the number of resources on the card. And it gets 1 resource for every card in the act deck. That means, if I haven't advanced the act at all, Umordalth is going to be fight 8 and 13 health. The likelihood of accomplishing this with Jenny is vanishingly small. But I am going to go for it. I still have 2 Dynamite Blasts. If I manage to get them both in hand and have enough resources to play them both as Umordalth approaches, that will chunk out 6 of its 13 health. That leaves 7. Where's the rest going to come from? Well, maybe if I can juice myself high enough with passive stat boosts and either a double or nothing boosted backstab and or the Chicago typewriter, which I've spent 4 victory points on, which with a full attack will be swinging at 3, 5, 7, 9 if I use all 3 actions to shoot with it before any boosts. And I have double or nothing, and I'm adding a second double or nothing and 2 vicious blows. I've spent 4 points on Chicago typewriter, 1 point in a second adaptable. I'm swapping out the Dr. Milans, the flashlights. I'm even getting rid of the lockpicks. Put in the Chicago typewriter, 2 vicious blows, a second double or nothing, and an emergency cache. The likelihood of this happening is vanishingly small, but I'm going to give it a try. If it doesn't work, oh well, we got the Ghoul Priest Billy Cooper achievement. If it does work, that'll be pretty amazing. So, let's shuffle these cards into Jenny's deck. Let's delete these. Let's put Jenny at the main path. Let's shuffle up our locations, even if we never visit any of them, and put 4 into play. Rest go away. Let's pick an Agents of the Ancient One set and shuffle it in without looking. We have 2 Doom on the agenda because 4, where is it? Because 4 cultists got away. Because it's past midnight, after we get our starting hand, we got to discard 2 cards from it randomly. So I don't want my opening hand to have any of the cards that I really want for the final battle against Umordalth. So I'm going to try to mulligan them away. So let's see what our opening hand has for us. Yeah, see, I don't want these cards. Like, I want Lita Chandler and Dynamite Blast and Chicago Typewriter. But I don't want them in my opening hand because they're likely to get discarded away. So these, plus the double or nothing, I'm going to mulligan back. Well, I might lose this second Dynamite Blast, but there's nothing to be done about that. Let's discard at random. 1, 2. Okay. We lost Lone Wolf, which hurts, but we still have Dynamite Blast. Fine. And we have 1 mental trauma from searching for Izzy. We're in the main path. 2 Shroud, no clues. I can resign. I could just end the madness now. But you know what? Let's see what happens, shall we? And we're going to draw some cards. Hey, Lone Wolf. We'll play Lone Wolf. At least we'll be building up resources over time. And we're going to draw another card. An elusive. Okay. No enemies on the board. We upkeep into a vicious blow. All right. Mythos, let's make sure this is shuffled. So now we're at 3 of 4 Doom. Chill from below. Test willpower 3. For each point you fail by, discard a card at random from your hand. Which, of course, you know, the likelihood of my keeping these cards I want is vanishingly small. We're going to try it. We'll throw a guts at this. We're testing 5 against 3. We're 2 up. We pass. We get a watch this. Okay. We get a Lone Wolf resource. And investigation, we're going to draw another card. Lucky cigarette case. Do I play that? Yeah, I think we do. We'll play Lucky Cigarette Case. And then we'll draw another card. Eavesdrop. That's not helpful. I probably should have adaptable those out. Whatever, it's fine. No enemies. We upkeep. We have a backstab. All right. Mythos, we're at 4. The agenda advances. We shuffle the discard pile in the encounter deck. A monster will be discarded at main path with a doom on it. What do we get? We get a ghoul. We're at the main path, so it engages us. Now it is agenda 2. Whoops. I accidentally... There we go. So all enemies get +1 fight and +1 evade. Let's see our card. Another chill from below. Existing willpower 3. I would like to keep these cards if I could. I'm going to commit watch this since it's a willpower icon, but I'm not going to bet anything. We're just testing 4 on 3. We are 1 up. Cultist is -2. Put a doom on the nearest enemy. So a second doom on this Grave Eater. I fail by 1, so I have to discard 1 card at random. It was eavesdrop. Fine. Okay. So this guy's fight 3. I don't want to use a backstab on him. Let's use get our Lone Wolf resource. He's evade 3. I could move to a location and then elusive back to the main path and leave him there. Or I could evade. I could spend 2 on Streetwise to probably evade. I'd be testing 6 against 3. That's not bad. And then move. I think that's what we'll do. We'll try to evade. We'll spend 2 on Streetwise. So we're testing 6 on 3. We're 3 up. Skull is a -1. So we pass by 2, which means we get a cigarette case card, which is a double or nothing. This guy's evaded. Let's move to a location. Just this. There we go. Let's move down here. Why not? The Great Willow, 4 Shroud, 1 Clue. After I succeed at a skill test on a treachery against Surge. Well, that's a terrible place. I don't want to stay here. I am strongly tempted to elusive right back to the main path and pick a different location. And in fact, we're going to do exactly that. We'll play elusive to... Oh, wait, no, I can't because there's an enemy there. Never mind. Yeah, I can't stay here. Let treacheries gain surge? No. Better to just have to evade this guy 1 extra time next round. All right, we'll move back. Is what it is. Okay. The enemies do nothing. We upkeep. We have a narrow escape. This guy engages us. That's pretty good. I could move, cancel its attack of opportunity, evade it, and leave it behind in wherever I move to. Okay. Mythos, we are at 2 + 1 is 3 of 5 doom. We get another Grave Eater. Right. So if they attack, I'd have to discard a card at random from my hand, which I don't want to do. I mean, I can cancel 1 attack, but not both. Do I just risk losing a card I want? Nah, I'd rather not. Let's see. Maybe I just evade them both and then move. I mean, they don't hunt. I just don't want to be in a place like this. Maybe I evade 1. I'm saving up all the vicious blows and whatnot for actually doing damage to Mordoth. We get our Lone Wolf resource. We're at 9. I think we just... try to evade. Evade them both and move. So we're going to evade the one with Doom first. We'll spend 2 on Streetwise, so we're testing 6 on 3. We're 3 up. Elder Sign. We pass by an enormous amount, so we get a cigarette case card, which is a think on your feet. Okay. And then this guy's evaded. And now we'll try to evade again. We'll spend 2 again on Streetwise. 6 on 3. We're 3 up. That is a fail. That's unfortunate. Don't want to stay here where there's 2 enemies. I also don't want to use my few resources for doing damage if I can at all help it. I mean, I could attack with Vicious Blow and try to do 4 on 3. Do the test 4 on 3. That's not great. Not possible. I mean, it's possible. It's not great. I guess I could accept the fact that I'm probably going to... Maybe I should try to kill one. All right. I hate being here. I guess on the other hand, though, how many treacheries am I actually going to pass the tests on? That's the other question. Here's what we're going to do. We are going to move. We'll play Narrow Escape to cancel the attack. We're going to move to this location. 2 Shroud, 1 Clue investigated using combat. But then I'm going to play Elusive to disengage from this guy and blip back to the Great Willow. I hate being there, but I hate being with ghouls more. Fine. Good use of my resources. Enemies do nothing. We upkeep into an Unexpected Courage. These ghouls ready. Grave Eaters, excuse me. We are at 2 + 2 is 4 of 5 Doom. Mask of a Mordoth. So we need to pull out a cultist enemy and attach a mask to it, and it gets a Doom, and it would take a Clue. So it'll be a Disciple of the Devourer, which is fine, since I don't want the Corpse Eater. All right. So how exactly does this work? Draw it, attach the mask to it, as +2 health, gains aloof, farthest empty location. Yeah, so this guy has a Doom, which is fine. He'll go here. All right. Let's draw some cards. We get our Lone Wolf resource. We'll draw a card. Eavesdrop. All the cards I don't need. We're going to draw another card. Perception. All the cards we don't need. We're going to draw another card. Hypochondria. Why not? Let's put all the important cards in the bottom of the deck. Wait, how do... Try that again. Okay. Well, the enemies just hang out. We upkeep into a watch this. We got to discard 2 cards. We'll discard the perceptions as the least useful of the cards. Okay. Mythos. We are at 3 + 3 is 6 doom. The agenda advances. Now we test willpower 6, and if we fail, we get a random basic Magnus weakness, which could be amnesia and junk my entire hand. We're testing willpower 6. We haven't gotten anything to really boost us. I guess I could throw unexpected courage, but even then, that just makes skulls are -2 right now. I suppose if I threw unexpected courage and watch this, I'd be testing 6 on 6, and I'd at least pass if I pull a 0. That feels bad, but it's what we're going to do. Sure, why not? 6 on 6. Okay, we passed. That's hilarious. All right, fine. 5 turns till the big guy shows up. My encounter card is Umordos Wrath. His willpower 5. Well, I just used all my willpower commits, so this is going to hurt. We're testing 3 on 5. We're 2 down. We fail by 5. So for each card, I discard a card from my hand, take a damage in a horror. I probably should have, no, I guess I drew that last, didn't I? Well, we'll discard Eavesdrop, that's 1. We'll discard Think on Your Feet, that's 2. A damage and a horror. And because of so that'll be a damage and 2 horror for each of those. So I have to discard another card, or I just die. I guess I discard the double or nothing. And then I take a damage and 2 horror, and then a damage and 2 horror. 2 damage, 4 horror. That seems terrible. Nah, you know what? We're also going to discard this vicious blow, and we're going to take a damage and 2 horror. That's pretty bad. And then we'll spend 2 actions to get rid of Hypochondria, and then we'll draw a card. Whoa, not my whole deck. Oh my goodness. Hold on. Technically difficult. Let's put that. No. Izzy, go. I don't know what's happening. Hold on. There we go. Let's shuffle that. Let's try that again. 1 card, please. Searching for Izzy. Because why wouldn't it be? Sure. Izzy's over here. Okay. No enemies that do anything. We upkeep into a guts, because why would I get the cards I want? 1 of 5 doom. Rotting Remains. Well, we'll throw guts at it. We're testing 5 on 3. We are... Oh, I didn't get my Lone Wolf resource last turn. I'll take it now. 5 on 3. We're 2 up. We pass. Unfortunately, that means that it gains Surge, so I have to get another card, which is another Rotting Remains. So we're testing 3 on 3 for this one. We're at even. But we pass. This is okay. Get our Lone Wolf resource. We're going to draw a card. Double or nothing. We're going to draw a card. Lucky cigarette case. I'm not feeling it, game. We're going to draw a card. Physical training. Well, that's at least a thing I could play. Maybe, if the game lets me. Not likely it will. The enemies don't do anything. We upkeep. Lead a Chantler. That would be nice to play. We're at 2 of 5 do. Offer of Power. um... You know what? Fine. We're going to take the Offer of Power. We're going to draw 2 cards and put 2 Doom on the agenda. Mordoth is going to show up next turn. But I don't want the horror. And the fewer turns the game has to kill me, maybe the better chance I actually manage to do this? No. Not bloody likely, but we are going to try. 2 cards. There's the Typewriter and the Dynamite Blast. 2 Doom on the agenda. What is even happening? All right, well, let's actually play some cards. Let's play Lita Chantler. Let's play the Chicago Typewriter. Let's get our Lone Wolf resource. And let's play Physical Training? Question mark, I guess. This is really dumb. All right, the enemies do nothing. We upkeep into the emergency cache I took. Okay. And the agenda advances. The Devourer below. Oh, right. And we put the Ritual Site into play, and Mordoth spawns there with the Vault of Earthly Demise with 3 resources on it. Whoops. No, not Dooms. This is not what I want. I want to make it... No, go away. I want to make it an offering because I think that's thematic. Boom, boom, boom. Okay. Let's watch how brutally it ends. All right. Well, Doom doesn't matter. This guy's moving on in, and we still draw an encounter card. The Corpse Taker. This guy does not matter. Farthest empty location. He's with Izzy. Izzy was the Corpse Taker all along. He's going to move to the center and just sit there. Okay, fine. All right, well, let's play emergency. Nope, let's play emergency cache. Get 3 resources. Let's use Lone Wolf. We'll get our Lone Wolf resource. So what am I looking at here? When Mordoth moves in, I could throw both sticks of dynamite at it. That'll do 6 damage. Then it'll move in and it'll chunk me for 3 and 3, but I have Lita to soak some of it. And then what? We still have 7 health. Wing and a prayer? I guess. Let's draw another card. My twin 45s. Well, I mean, the Chicago Typewriter is better. It's a commit. It's a commit to a backstab. That's a fact. Do I draw another card? Do I take a resource? No, I should probably... Well, if I draw another card, then I'll have to discard. I think I take a resource. Okay. Mordoth moves down. Main path. And we upkeep. Second backstab. Okay. Mythos, we're at 1 plus... Oh, and the Corpse Taker moves in the enemy phase as well. He's going to get blown up for his troubles. That's pretty funny. Right. So Doom doesn't matter. Mordos Hunger. Oh, I have to discard a card at random. Oh, this is going to hurt. It hurts. Ah, it was a Dynamite Blast. Oh, well. It was a good try. Fine. Lone Wolf Resource, we're at 18. We'll spend 5 to play Dynamite Blast. We'll do 3 damage to all these bozos. So 3 on a Mordoth. Corpse Taker is defeated. This Grave Eater is defeated. So the skulls are now -1 because there's only 1 monster on the board, right? Yes, this guy doesn't count. And Mordoth famously is not a monster. Oh well. I wonder if that Dynamite Blast would have meant the difference. Well, we're going to draw a card. Lady Esprit. We're going to play her. For the soak. We're going to play her for the soak. All right. Here we go. Mordoth chunks on in and annihilates us for 3 and 3. We'll put 2 on Lita and 1 each on Lady Esprit. And we upkeep into a Vicious Blow. Okay. We're at 2 of Infinite Doom. Ancient Evils, we're at 3 of Infinite Doom. So he's fight 8. And he still has 10 health. Get our Lone Wolf resource. We have 13 resources. We have a fully loaded Chicago typewriter. We have a double or nothing, a Vicious Blow, 2 backstabs. We have a triple foot commit in Jenny's 45s and a lucky cigarette case. If we committed double or nothing to an attack, we'd be testing against a whopping 16. Can we even get that high with the test? Backstab, we'd be swinging 3 against 13, well, 4 against 13 with double or nothing. We could commit Think on Your Feet, 5 against 13. We could commit the 45s, 8 against 13. We could spend 4 resources in Streetwise, we'd be 14 against 13. If we spend 6 resources, we'd be 17 against 13. That could do 6 damage. Now it has 10 health. The Chicago Typewriter. Chicago Typewriter will do 3 damage. If I attack with it and throw in Vicious Blow, that would be 4 damage. If that got doubled or nothinged, it could do 8 damage. And then I'd need a backstab to finish it off. If I attack with the typewriter, I'm getting +2 for each action I spend. I'm base 4 with double or nothing, testing in 16. So 4 +2 from 1 action is 6. +1 from Vicious Blow is 7. +1 from double or nothing is 8. 8 on 16. Now, I have physical training. I can pump my combat by throwing resources at the problem. I also could spend another action, or even 2 actions. If I spent 2 actions on the typewriter, boy, the math on this. If I spend 2 actions on the typewriter, 4, 6, 8, 9, 10. 6 resources to get to parity. Three more resources to get 3 up. That doesn't cover everything. If I fail, that's it. But that's a reasonable chance of success. That would do 8 damage. Then I would need to land a backstab. I would need to keep 3 resources back for backstab. I would be testing 3 against 8. With the 45s, 6 on 8. With the think on your feet, 7 on 8. That's not great. Alternately, I could spend all 3 actions on the typewriter hit. Except the fact that Umordoth is going to hit me again for 3 and 3. Which I can take. I could take 2 horror on Lady Esprit. She'll still have 1 and 1. And I could take 1 horror and 3 damage on Jenny, and we'd be at 4 and 4. And then try to nail the backstab next turn. I think that's the way to do it. We are going to go all in. We're going to spend 3 actions on the Chicago typewriter. So we're at 4, 6, 6, 8, and we're at 10. Base 10 against 16. No, 10 against 8. 11 against 16. 12 against 16. 1, 2, 3, 4. 16 against 16. 1, 2, 3. We're 3 up. If I do this, the next turn I'll have 8 resources. With 8 resources, I could play backstab. I'll be 5 up. No, I'll have 5 resources left. I could spend 4 on Streetwise. So I'd be testing 9 on 8, 10, 11, 12, 13. Okay, so I'm going to spend 1 more resource. So we're at 5. No, we're going to spend 1 more, well, we're going to spend 1 more resource so that we're up by 5. I mean, if I draw this, I guess technically we could draw that into 0. The point being, with this and with Lone Wolf, I'll have 7 resources, just enough to play backstab, to pump it with 2 shots of Streetwise, so that I'm testing 9 against 8, 10, 11, 12 against 8, 13 against 8. All right. We're 5 up. Again, just to recap the math. 4 base, plus 6 from the typewriter is 10. 1 from Vicious Blow, 11. 2 from Double or Nothing is 12. And we spent 9 resources. No. Yes. 9 resources. We're testing 21 against 16. We're 5 up. What is that? We passed by 3. We put a Doom on Umordoth because that feels appropriate. But we nailed the hit. So we do 8 damage. That's very funny. And we draw a card from Lucky Cigarette Case, which is an unexpected courage. I'll take that. Okay, that was our whole turn. Now Umordoth hits us for 3 and 3. We put 2 on Lady Esprit, 2 horror. We put 3 damage and 1 horror on Jenny. This is very stupid. But the others don't do anything. We upkeep. Oh, our deck reshuffled, so we take a horror. I didn't even realize we had drew through our whole deck. And we got the Vicious Blow back. All right. Well, we're at 4 plus 1 is 5 out of Infinite Doom, and our encounter card is Ancient Evils. We're at 5 plus 1 is 6 out of Infinite Doom. We need to nail 1 backstab. We get a Lone Wolf resource. We have 7 resources. We're going to spend 3. We're going to... Hang on. Is it... am I better off shooting? I only need to do 2 damage. Wait. I only need to do 2 damage. The highest number I can get. If I shot again, and I used all 3 actions, I don't know if I would. Because if this fails, Umordoth will hit again, will defeat Lita, will defeat Lady Esprit, will have 1 damage and 1 horror on Jenny. We will be just barely hanging on for dear life. How many tries can I eke out of this? A Chicago typewriter shot. Can I get up to 5? 6. If I spend 2 actions, I'll be at 8 against 8. Plus 1 from Vicious Blow is 9. And I could throw the Unexpected Courage. So I'd be 11 on 8. I could spend 1. Alternately, what if I backstab? If I spend 3 to play backstab, I'll have 4 remaining. I could do the plan, which was 2 shots of Streetwise. So I'll be testing 3, 6, 9 against 8. Throw the guns into the backstab. 12 on 8. Throwing the think on our feet. 11 on 8. Okay, that's what we'll do. We will try backstab first. We'll get 3 up. No, 5 up, excuse me. So we'll spend 3 resources on backstab. Is this a retaliate? No, it does not. So we're testing 3 against 8. We will spend 4 resources through Streetwise to make it get plus 6. So 9 on 8. Commit the 45s, 12 on 8. Commit think on your feet, 13 on 8. We're 5 up. -1. We pass by 4. We have just backstabbed Umordoth, and it is defeated. Resolution 2. Through force of arms, a big gun, and strength of will, to backstab a god, you are somehow able to harm Umordoth enough to send it reeling back to the dimension from which it emerged. Warmth and light return to the woods as the void-like mass is sucked in upon itself, vanishing in an instant. You aren't sure if a being such as this can be killed, but for the time being it seems to have retreated. As their master vanishes, the ghouls nearby climb into the open pit below, fleeing with terrible cries and shrieks. You've stopped an evil plot. But the fight has taken its toll on your body and mind. Worse, you can't help but feel insignificant in the face of the world's mysteries. What other terrors exist in the deep, dark corners of reality? Well, that is what we find out playing Arkham Horror, the card game, a living card game by Fantasy Flight Games. The investigators repelled Umordoth. 2 physical and 2 mental trauma. 10 experience. I didn't take away what I spent it on. Jenny repelled Umordoth. Somehow. I love it. I love it. All right. And we got some achievements. We still haven't defeated the Ghoul Priest using Lita Chandler's reaction ability. That'll happen at some point. But what we did get is, do you get it now? For defeating the Ghoul Priest in front of Billy Cooper. And we got Even Death May Die because we defeated Umordoth with the Vault of Earthly Demise attached to it. And we got there just misunderstood, because we managed to do that without defeating a single unique cultist. That's wild. Wow. All right. Well, I gotta think through what the next lucky contestant will be. The remaining achievements will be to have Lita Chandler's reaction ability defeat the Ghoul Priest, to interrogate all 6 unique cultists in the Midnight Masks. That's probably the hardest of the bunch. What else is left? Umordoth's Favor, the one we started trying to do. Win the campaign without defeating any ghouls. And finally, Arkham Expertise, win the campaign on Expert. That was wild. What an incredible finish for Jenny Barnes. Well, thank you everybody for watching. Until next time, take it easy, everyone.